Get ready for the biggest market moves of the day. Intel is taking a massive hit, dropping 10% after a recent surge, as investors book profits amid shifting demand signals. We dive into why Intel's stock is facing a serious pullback and what this means for the semiconductor landscape.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to hold it with one hand? The PopSocket's Pop Grip gives you a secure grip, works as a phone stand, and even lets you swap the top for a fresh new look. Simple, useful, and perfect for everyday phone use. Click the link in the comments to grab yours on Amazon.
Next up, we look at Qualcomm's aggressive global expansion strategy. Discover how Qualcomm opened a brand new research and development center in Hanoi, Vietnam, signaling a huge long-term commitment to high-tech innovation in that dynamic region. Now, let's talk about the future of mobile processing. We reveal the shocking rumors surrounding Qualcomm's next Snapdragon chip, which could dramatically increase smartphone prices with a rumored cost exceeding $300 per chip. Finally, we analyze the current standing of Qualcomm. We break down the recent trading activity, the analyst ratings, and the insider selling to tell you if now is the time to buy or sell QCOM, and what the experts are really whispering about. Major semiconductor stocks experienced a sharp sell-off on Tuesday as investors took profits following a significant rally fueled by optimism surrounding artificial intelligence infrastructure and future chip demand. Intel shares fell approximately 10%, Qualcomm dropped over 13%, and advanced micro devices declined around 6%, all of which had reached record highs the previous day. This pullback followed a blistering run across the semiconductor sector, evidenced by the iShares Semiconductor Exchange-Traded Fund surging 77% this year as capital flowed into AI-benefiting companies. Analysts noted that investors appeared to be booking profits. Some commentary suggested that while Intel's directional momentum was positive, the current share price already adequately reflected the potential, according to a Deutsche analyst. Furthermore, some analysts pointed to softening demand in traditional computing markets, with key bank capital markets noting a 27% decline in notebook computer shipments in April, which was viewed negatively for PC-exposed chipmakers like Intel and AMD. Intel's recent surge is largely driven by investor confidence in its strategy to establish itself as a major contract chip manufacturer. Reports indicate a preliminary agreement between Apple and Intel for Intel to manufacture chips for Apple devices, potentially unlocking a $35 billion to $40 billion market opportunity. However, analysts caution that realizing these benefits will take years, requiring substantial investment in new infrastructure, potentially delaying significant revenue gains until 2028 or later. Bank of America raised its price target for Intel, but maintained an underperform rating. Qualcomm's growth narrative is broadening beyond the smartphone market, focusing on automotive technology, internet-connected devices, and AI-focused computing. The stock climbed 41% over 5 trading sessions before the decline. Positive reactions followed stronger than expected quarterly earnings and news regarding Qualcomm's expansion into data center processors, including plans to ship a custom data center chip to a major hyperscale cloud customer in the December quarter. Despite the positive developments, Wall Street remains cautious on Qualcomm's valuation, with the average analyst rating holding steady at hold. Qualcomm Technologies has officially opened a new research and development center in Hanoi, Vietnam, signaling a significant expansion of the U.S. technology giant's high-tech research operations in the country. The launch was confirmed by Vietnam's Ministry of Science and Technology on Tuesday. This development follows an earlier announcement from Qualcomm in June 2025 regarding the facility's construction. At that time, Qualcomm had positioned the new center as the third largest of its kind globally, trailing only facilities in India and Ireland. Speaking at the opening event, Deputy Minister of Science and Technology Bui Hong Phuong emphasized Vietnam's potential to foster high technology and the semiconductor industry. He highlighted several key advantages, including political and social stability, a a strategic location within global supply chains, and a young, dynamic STEM workforce. Deputy Minister Phuong described the Qualcomm R&D Center in Hanoi as a strategic milestone, underscoring the company's long-term dedication to research and technology development in Vietnam. He also pointed to Qualcomm's involvement in workforce training and its positive impact on Vietnam's innovation ecosystem. The ministry acknowledged Qualcomm's ongoing collaborative efforts across various sectors, specifically mentioning cooperation in 5G, artificial intelligence, Open RAN technologies, startup support, and partnerships with local universities and research institutes. In response, the ministry assured that it will continue to support U.S. technology companies by implementing high-tech investment and incentive policies within Vietnam. Qualcomm's next flagship Snapdragon chip is rumored to significantly increase the cost of premium Android smartphones, potentially pushing prices higher. A recent leak suggests that the rumored Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6 Pro could cost manufacturers over $300 per chip, establishing it as Qualcomm's most expensive mobile processor to date. This projection comes from Teepster Abhishek Yadav, who detailed the escalating cost of Qualcomm's flagship silicon over recent generations. For context, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 was valued between $120 and $130. The 8 Gen 3 reportedly jumped to $170-$200, and the current Snapdragon 8 Elite is estimated at over $220, with the Gen 6 Pro potentially exceeding $300. This substantial price increase is fueling reports that Android brands are preparing to adopt a split flagship strategy moving forward. Qualcomm is reportedly developing two versions of its next flagship chip, a standard Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6 and a more powerful Pro edition targeting ultra-tier devices, such as the Samsung Galaxy S27 Ultra. The technical specifications for these variants are rumored to differ significantly. The Pro variant is expected to incorporate TSMC's latest 2nm process, a faster Adreno 850 GPU, larger cache sizes, wider memory bandwidth, and support for LPDDR6 RAM. In contrast, the regular Gen 6 chip is anticipated to feature an Adreno 845 GPU and LPDDR5X memory support. Whispers of clock speeds reaching or exceeding 5 GHz have surfaced, though real-world performance may temper expectations based on raw specifications. If these leaks prove accurate, the flagship Android market in 2027 could see unprecedented speed, but also increased fragmentation and higher costs. Qualcomm Incorporated, NASDAQ, QCOM, experienced a significant downturn, trading down 11.5% on Tuesday, falling to a low of $202 before closing at $210.31. Trading volume was notably high, with 38,307,902 shares exchanged, marking a 161% increase from the average session volume. This decline comes amidst a complex landscape of analyst opinions and recent company performance metrics. Analyst sentiment remains mixed. Several firms have adjusted their outlook. Tigris Financial raised its price target to $280 and maintained a buy rating. Sanford C. Bernstein reissued a market perform rating with a price objective of $140, and Barclays increased its target to $150 while assigning an underweight rating. Conversely, Benchmark lifted its target to $225 with a buy rating, and Piper Sandler reaffirmed an overweight rating with a $200 price target. Overall, among 14 equities research analysts, 9 maintain a buy rating, 15 hold the stock, and 4 assign a sell rating. The consensus rating, based on channel YouTube data, is currently hold with an average price target of $180.37. Financially, Qualcomm recently reported quarterly earnings on April 29th, posting earnings per share, EPS, of $2.65, slightly surpassing the consensus estimate of $2.56. Revenue reached $10.6 billion, exceeding expectations of $10.59 billion. The company demonstrated strong profitability with a return on equity of 42.11% and a net margin of 22.31%. However, quarterly revenue saw a 3.5% year-over-year decrease. Looking ahead, Qualcomm has set its guidance for Q3 2026 EPS between 2.1 and 2.3. Furthermore, the company announced a quarterly dividend of 92 cents per share, boosting the previous quarterly payout of 89 cents, representing a 1.7% dividend yield. The board of directors also approved a $20 billion share repurchase plan, signaling management's belief in the stock's undervaluation. In terms of insider activity, Executive Vice President Heather S. Ace sold 3,200 shares on May 4th, and CAO Patricia Y. Gretsch sold 192 shares on April 30th, both transactions executed under prearranged trading plans. Insiders have sold 15,977 shares in the last 90 days, representing a minimal ownership stake of 0.05%. Institutional investor activity shows ongoing interest, with major players like Basepoint Wealth LLC, Graycastle Wealth Strategies Inc., Certified Advisory Corp., Provice Management Group LLC, and Baker Tilly Wealth Management LLC all increasing their positions in QCOM over recent quarters. Institutional investors collectively hold 74.35% of the company's stock. Qualcomm, a global leader in semiconductor and telecommunications equipment, continues to focus on its portfolio encompassing Snapdragon system-on-chip platforms, cellular modems, and connectivity solutions for various applications, including automotive and IoT. The company's market capitalization stands at $221.67 billion, with a P/E ratio of 22.86 and a beta of 1.49. The stock's 50-day moving average is $142.08, and the 200-day average is $156.74.